Good afternoon and welcome to the final game of pool play for the Australian Mixed Ultimate Championships 2019. My name's Andrew Moroney and I'm joined today by Beck Walbridge. Beck, final game, what's your pick?
Oh, I mean, you've got to go by what history states, and that is that Wagon have won all of their games leading up to this. I heard an interesting statistic before the game, and that is out of a possible 90 points, they've managed to score 88 of them.
It's not bad going.
Yeah, you'd think that the odds are in their favour.
Yeah, all right, so conditions for those who haven't seen the previous games, or even if you have, it's much of the same. So Wagon left of screen in dark from Newcastle, Vanguard from Adelaide, right of screen receiving. Vanguard will be shooting downwind. It's a pretty strong upwind, downwind game. Chris Hill with the disc. He's going to pull it. It's going to land in Chili Pool. Goes to Elisa.
Zone set up here by Wagon.
Entingpaw. Back to Marty Tonkin. Elisa. Shuwei.
I found that gap easily. And we're going to match defence.
Marty did well to keep it. A little bit of air underneath. That wind, as you can hear in the mic's really picking up. Thang Do. Low inside break to Shuwei. Shuwei lets one go on the backhand.
Oof. A lot of power behind that throw there. Don't think the receiver was expecting that to come at her quite that hard or at that particular height.
No, and at that pace, and that's what you're going to see. I think a lot this game we've seen in the previous games. It is a downwind breeze. It's not going to sit up, so you've really got kind of one crack at it. It's going to have to be a really good throw for it to sit up. So, Tim Lindsay Brown, TLB, coming up, picking up the disc. And he jacks a flick straight away. It's going to be close to the sideline. Chili has to do it. He can't tow it.
Setting up from a horror there.
Entingpaw picking up the disc. Has it now. Looks the flick, throws the flick over the stack. Oh, wasn't far off Shuwei in the end.
Don't know if that was actually going for Shuwei in the end zone. I think that was...
Was that going for Michaela, but it was going with a bit of heat.
Bit unsure as to who that was, who the target was, but anyway, get it down there, make Wagon work against the wind.
Great, Chili. Chili throw, Chili flick.
The exact same play as before, but comes off a little bit better this time.
It's Courtney Thompson that's caught a beautiful huck from Chili. TLB now. Centers it. Oof, bounces up a little bit, but it's okay. TLB receives it again. TLB has the inside flick if he wants it. Goes around, open side.
Interesting dump placement there.
Well, he has to go the flick into the stack, but it's an upwind and it works. Daisy Ewan with the disc on the end zone line. Everyone's around. TLB once again, strange dump position, but this time he gets it.
That's a very, very close dump setup there, and I mean, it paid off.
Well, the second time it paid off. The first time he forced his player to just jack it into the stack, and I don't know if that was the plan.
Yeah, a few lucky throws there, I think, to get them that score.
Yeah, TLB in the precise wrong position. If you want to learn how to position for a dump, don't watch TLB's last point. This one on the replays, you can see a little bit better. Sets up on Nunu. Gets him up the line, but...
There's a lot of people in that space there. That's not how you want to be playing Ultimate. So that's Wagon, the one score on the first 4 minutes, done fairly well. The last game that I was commentating, it took them about 12 minutes to do the first score, so...
Riveting. Riveting frisbee. All right, Wagon strong start. Upwind break to start with. Man on D again. Really challenging pool. No one wants anything to do with that. That's going to roll out the back. And it looks like it'll be Baddix picking it up. Vanguard setting up in a horror.
I mean, it works for Wagon. Looks like they've got sit deep.
Loiser and Middleton in the middle. Looks a bit junky now for Wagon. Great shot from Baddix out into space. Oh, it's down. Sid.
Unfortunate. She was very open. They had a lot of time, a lot of space.
Holly Reeve goes upstairs, but there's a pick. It's unfortunate because they're out there, but
Yeah.
just
Just
have it.
rushed through.
So I think they're going to let him have it. This is Tim. Is it Tim Hayes? Tim Hayes with it.
Oh,
Base
there's
marking. High
extremely
count.
early. Oh,
Just Stoddard moves it. TLB, but this one hits the ground as well. So there's a
there's a call,
There's an injury
though.
call. Injury. I think Vanguard are going to keep it. Yeah, I think Vanguard are going to keep it. I don't think it affected the play.
The wind has really picked up now.
No, I don't care about the wind.
It's very
Just
up
keep
and down
the
winds.
rain away.
Yeah, that's
Right
true.
away.
Yeah.
We'll be it'll be like your last game. We're waiting 7 minutes between points.
All right, a bit of discussion now about what happens and when the injury was called, and if that affected exactly what happened, and where everyone was when it was called.
So this game, in terms of the context of everything, Wagon are undefeated, so they're going to a semi-final no matter what. If Vanguard win in an upset, they go into three-way tie territory, and who knows what happens from there. As we watch Baddix goes long Sid, but TLB under-read it. Tim Hayes, however, cleans it up. And this looks
Vanguard scrambling to get into position.
Baddix has to go on Stoddard.
I thought she had that.
Just in and out of Jess Stoddard, but that's what this wind does. And Baddix runs it up, hits Sean Lace.
They're not wasting any
Lace
time to get the
inside.
disc moving.
Inside to Lee, back to Baddix. Baddix looks for his flick again. Instead goes to Rosler, back to Baddix. Getting a bit more flow now in Vanguard's offense. Hits Sweet as Middleton. Back to Baddix.
So Wagon sitting someone in the lane.
Get 14 under it. Get under there, Andy. You might still get it.
Oh.
Turnover, Wagon now. Courtney Thompson. Hits Michael McKee, who's free. Lanes goes from now. McKee, that's a big hammer. It's going to work! Oh, Chile!
Bit of a cheeky throw there.
That looked like it was no chance until it sat in the lap of Chile. Michael McKee knows where it's at. Get around him. He's pretty happy with himself. Unconventional out of the hand, but Beckett worked. And Wagon gets some early separation. McKee, you can see he's looking. Rather than just going with the more conventional flick, decides to go for style points. And it was perfect. It was
You
spot
don't get
on.
any extra though.
You
No
don't,
extra.
You don't get extra. People think you get extra.
should.
Yeah. And I had to say, so long as the rain doesn't come, we'll be okay, because now the rain is coming. Fantastic.
Now, I get why Vanguard put that big shot up. They're obviously wanting to go, you know what, we've got long shots in this wind, we've got the unders, not just playing unders all day. Unfortunately, just don't quite have the skills to back up that throw, unfortunately.
Well, like you said, if they're sitting one in the lane,
yeah.
like that Baddix now has to shoot around someone in the lane, upwind, and in that instance, he was on the sideline.
Yeah,
So
it just makes it so hard.
he had a really nice shot early in the point,
Yeah.
but there was no one in the lane.
Yeah.
He was in the middle of the field. Like, probably pretty
Extra
different.
pressure.
So, Chili Pool. Third pull of the match.
Doing very well to pull in this wind.
Yeah, anything north of the brick mark, you're doing well. So Shu Wei picks up. It's Nunu. Back to Shu Wei. Look, Shu Wei looking good. Shu Wei jacks one.
She loves a good backhand.
Pang Do got sucked in, I reckon, by TLB. He got a bit worried. TLB worried him out of it.
I wonder if he was also just trying to toe that line a little bit as well.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Just making sure it stays in.
All right, so Wagon going to have a chance to make a really strong statement of first up and take it 3-0 if they can move it upwind. So once again,
Interesting setup here by Wagon.
2-5 Horror. Chile again, just happy to shoot. It's going to sit up. Tonkin's coming in. Vanguard,
Great work.
Get the turn. Nunu. Shu Wei. Shu Wei looks. Holds it now. Waits for the count to come on. And they've locked down pretty well. Once again, really strange dump positioning from Vanguard. Going into the deep space. Doe.
Oh, pick
And
called. I think it was good by Vanguard to get that quick early movement.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Just get the disc moving and then get to a space where they're feeling a bit comfortable. Then hold on to it, reset, allow everyone to catch up.
Okay, Doe with the disc, just north of his brick mark. Michaela Dummel in the dump position. He engages her now. She goes one way, then the other. Gets free on Reeve. Reeve goes Jackie Chan mark. Doesn't get the block. Puts his mark on. Doe again into the lane. TLB letting him have it. So I reckon he knows put enough pressure on. Doe drops it, so TLB picks it up. Good grab. Gets the reset.
So the rain has come in now, so we're dealing with rain and wind. Every ultimate player's dream.
Nice low release. And then Chile, it goes again. This time he's going to Liam Doherty.
Nah.
Can't pull it in. Doe. Looks for Shuei. Not on. Hits Michaela. And Shuei's gone. Michaela will shoot it. This one is going, but once again, it's that upwind downwind. I don't think that's the last time we're going to see it either. The players aren't adjusting. It's a gale.
I like Doe's little shoulder fake that he did just then. That was work to treat.
Yeah, all players on the sideline now starting to rug up. I think they know that this rain isn't going anywhere. It has, as we said, it's been patchy. It's been 5 minutes of sideways rain and then 10 minutes of sun, but I don't know if it's going anywhere now. So it's going to make things especially challenging.
All right, disc comes in.
All right, TLB moves it back into the middle. Chris Hill. Chris Hill
just...
he's just ripping him.
I mean, if you're wondering how you should defend him. Oh, there's another call.
I think Marty Tonkin copped one there from Chile.
Yeah, I think, and particularly in this wind, the risk is that you're really trying to put extra power and things behind it, and unfortunately.
And Marty's probably a bit tired of Chile just ripping hucks on him, so had to do something to try and stop it. So we'll just wait for Marty to make his way off. Has Chile thrown it under?
No, I don't.
I think
he
he's
has
either
yet.
pulled, he's pulling or he's hucking. I don't think he's doing anything in between.
Oh, straight to the feet. You really got to angle the disc so that it stays up and doesn't drop down. And a timeout's just been called.
Oh, thank goodness. TLB seeing, he's been the voice of reason. He's had enough. He's actually getting in his car. TLB is leaving the field. He's had enough.
Yeah, they're wondering where the nearest winery is.
You haven't been to Bendigo before, have you, TLB? I think you're getting that confused with the Barossa Valley. Bendigo's famous for a lot of things. Wine isn't one of them. Casks, maybe, but Beck, probably just a call they need to make to say, let's adjust to the conditions because they've changed pretty drastically.
Have a look. Both teams are huddling pretty tightly. It's not pleasant out there. Bit of a penguin huddles what's in order.
That's actually exactly what they're doing.
I mean, at this point, you've got to really get your team to adjust what they're doing, play to the conditions. You can't play you've got to play structures a little bit differently. Maybe what you've trained.
If you're Vanguard, what do you say? What do you change?
What do you change if you're
2-0
Vanguard?
down and not a lot of what you call smooth offense.
Is it one of those moments where you just go, we've got to start taking a couple of risks and see if they pay off?
And defensively, they've just got to go straight up on Chile.
Absolutely. Try and stop that long game. And I think offensively, they've been doing pretty well. They've been getting the disc moving, but as soon as they become a bit stagnant, they're not quite sure what to do next.
Well, they've had at least 2, if not 3, shots out the back.
Yeah.
That weren't even a look.
Yeah, absolutely.
So just understanding that wind is going to carry it for you. There's not a lot of energy you need to put on the throw at all. Ooh.
All right, so offense gets to set up first, and they can't move while the defense sets up. So you'll see defense are now just finding their players, figuring out where they're going to stand.
Tim Lindsay-Brown with the disc. Goes the low inside to Hill. Hill fakes, looks back.
Oh,
Puts it, that is one of the most disgusting throws I think Chris Hill has ever let go. You can't blame him because the conditions are horrid.
He would have caught a very wet disc just then, but still.
Baddocks is going to make it look better. He goes the right
there
step
we
around
go.
Becky.
Oh, great positioning. Wonderful positioning.
Very nice,
Just
and Vanguard are on the board. Tim Davis.
recognise that the disc has been dropping down a little bit when it's been going that way and just got his body in front.
Well, that's exactly the adjustment. I mean, he stepped out, Baddocks stepped out nice and wide, but didn't actually give it too much. And what he also did was wait for the cut to actually develop a little deep, almost too much, because Davis actually just had to stand still and pluck it. But doesn't matter how they got it. Vanguard are on the board, 2-1.
So the timeout there by Wagon, was it the best option midpoint?
I think we'd have a chat to Chili about his throwing option.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't know if we can cue that up, but yeah, probably one Chili would want back. We might even see if we can have a chat to him about it.
Oh. And now we've got sun and rain. Lucky us.
We'll come out to you, Chili. We'll have a quick chat to Chili. Chill, you've had a couple of beautiful puts as well as pulls so far this game. I wouldn't say that that flick into the end zone was one of them, though.
That was not my best throw. To be honest, the around was quite difficult, so I just tried to ping one to the front of the stack, and it came out like rubbish.
Yeah, out of 10, what would you give it?
Oh, I'd be lucky to get a 1, really.
I think you'd be lucky to get a 1 too. On the upside, though, you're really not afraid to jack it. You've had a few nice puts. Is that part of the plan? You're going to keep sticking them?
Absolutely. We're going to be playing to the conditions. And at the moment, it's not nice frisbee, so we're just playing for field position a little bit.
Yeah, all right, very good. Okay, best of luck on your next inside flick.
Thank you very much.
All right, Wagon. So we've got folks with the disc looking for Wise. First time we've seen them on the field this game.
I believed Lachlan wanted us to refer to him only as the big tamale in this
The
game.
big tamale. Well, unfortunately, it's not going to happen.
No, Lachlan Wise.
Okay, so Vanguard have got a zone on.
Moved it to Folks.
But Wagon just find that gap so easily, just bounce it up the field.
Credit to them for trying something different, but there are 2 or 3 occasions there where they're just able to hit through that middle, so their fence not playing close enough at all.
So the fence being those 3 people that are directly in front of the disc, just making sure that they're talking to each other so that the disc can't make its way through.
And as has happened most of the day, it is now nothing but sunlight.
So you notice that Sean Davis isn't playing this game, so he was saying that he's had a bit of a niggle in his leg, and kind of after the different tournaments and the national training squad stuff that's been going on, that he unfortunately is out of the game. Oh,
Sean Lace.
sorry. Who am I thinking of?
Sean
Davis.
Davis.
Yeah, that's all right.
He's playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's sitting this one out just so that he can continue on.
All right, so at least the rain's out of the way for the next 5 minutes.
If we're lucky.
If we're lucky. Wagon 3-1. Only one upwinder though, so
And surprise, surprise, look who's pulling.
Chillbot, very good. Better than his last one. Marty Tonkin to receive. Hits Enting Hawk. Hits Doe. Doe wants to bring people in.
Oh, finds that space.
Cracking throw to
Oh,
Marty Tonkin.
wow.
Michaela, she's got good position. Is she going to be able to tow it in?
Oh!
That was going to be the risk. Yeah. She's looked back at Marty and said it was missed it by that much.
So, but Doe there to be able
Really
to
nice
get through
inside
that
from Doe. Yeah.
that zone there, did really well, and that just opened up the rest of the field.
Michaela, it was all hers, but was trying to tow it.
All right, now they've got their zone happening again.
Tonkin's going to put it. I don't know if that's coming back.
No.
Did not come back, so it's going to come back to about 10 metres past where Chris Hill threw it. Handy yards for Vanguard.
So this will bring Vanguard up to 2-3 and sniffing.
Yep. So Thang Do's pointing over to the weak side. He wants to see either a hammer or an outside in over the top of the stack.
Oh, I think he's just directing the stack.
Nah, he wants it. Enting
Oh,
Hawk.
great up the line.
Very nice.
Unfortunately, the rest of the stack not doing much.
And he goes. Engages Marty on the dump. Marty gets the separation, and that's a goal.
Oh, well done. They're in it.
Nice work from Marty Tonkin. He's one of the bigger bodies on the Vanguard team, so knows that if he goes up the line, his defender's going to have a really hard time getting around and trying to have a taste on that disc.
Unfortunately, Vanguard, they managed to get up the line from their dump, but then the rest of their stack were just very stationary, and then they all went to move to the open side at the same time.
And the thing is, if they remain stationary, then Pie Wagon's defenders in the stack are going to start realising that, and they're going to start coming off the top of the stack to have a dip at people going up the line. So
absolutely. So I don't think Pie Wagon will let them get away with that one again.
4 males is the signal from Ruben. TLB looking a lot happier on the sideline now that the rain's gone away. He's put his toys back in the cot. Still doesn't look happy. Your team's up, Tim. They're up, okay? Be happy. So, as we mentioned, this is the last game of pool play. So, there are a few scores around the tournament that we're going to get to.
So it looks like Soip would beat Karoma in the last round, so that means that they'll be finishing the top of Pool B.
Wise gets out of jail, throwing to Holly Reeve. Reeve back to Folkes. So it looks like Vanguard have done a better job of plugging that gap in the front until that moment then. Pie Wagon. Was it? Oh, Greening to Folkes. A little bit of contact, but nothing untoward. Folkes wide, step around lefty backhand to Wise.
There's a call there.
And is there a call? Foul call in the act of throwing, so he's retracting it. So it's going to stay with Lockie Wise, the big tamale. Sweeter, Brett Middleton sitting out the back, lefty with him, and he wants it, so he goes to lefty. It's right on Sweeter's head. He had Hayes on one side, Chris Stoddard on the other, and he threw it
straight to Brett.
Directly to the deep in Brett Middleton. So Baddock's walking it up. Chris Stoddard marking him. Chris Stoddard went into the hairdressers during the week and he said, I want you to make me look like I knocked over a 7-Eleven. And that one would have stung.
Yeah,
Liza Greening.
absolutely.
Baddock's again.
But
Trying
great
to throw
work on D.
through the lane. And here we go. The shoplifter doesn't get it instead.
Oh, wow.
That's beautiful by Chris Folkes.
Beautiful throw.
Chris Folkes to Gina Hill. It's as nice as it gets.
So Crank are currently playing Soipwood right now. And Crank have to win this game to stay in the top 3. And the game is currently at 4-all. So interesting game happening over there.
And we do have a game happening for those who can see in the north of the screen, top of the screen. That is Squidoos versus Hills. And Hills need to win that to stay in the tournament. So I think Squidoos through to the next round comfortably, but Hills playing for their tournament now. We'll get scores from that match when we've got them.
So it's always interesting in the last round of pool play because that's when a lot of crunch games happen.
It's when the following kind of 12 hours of teams' nights or days and nights are determined. I was having a chat with the Sublime coach, who was in a similar situation last game. I won't tell you exactly what he said if things went south, but it was words to the effect of, well, we're going to pack her up and go home.
Yeah, right.
So Chris Hill, again, another really strong pull. That's probably the best he's delivered yet. Marty Tonkin's going to be underneath. It has to work to get it. Does so. Moves it to Nunu. Back to Marty Tonkin. Marty right on the sideline.
Vanguard really playing down one side of the field.
Doesn't like anything. And there's going to be a foul. TLB, Olden Cranky, understands that he did foul him. Do you reckon he has fun?
He said before on the sideline that he was having fun.
Does TLB have fun playing Frisbee? Sometimes,
okay.
all right.
So Vanguard really needs to start using the whole field here. They're really just limiting themselves to 5 metres to the sideline right in front of the camera.
Doe.
Does that
a bit of the shake and bake you were talking about, Beck.
He loves it. Again, trying to force it down this sideline. It's just not working for them.
There's no width. There's no width. And especially when Pie Wagon know that it's a hard shot downwind and they haven't been nailing them. Makes it really easy. So Vanguard transitioning straight into a junk 1-3-2-1. So they will have a fence with 3 players trying to stop the upwind. TLB looking wide.
Oh,
Great throw. Oh, nice work by Michaela in the wing position.
oh, she wants to straight away wanted to go big, but there was too many people in the way.
And that's really smart from both Michaela. As
pick
we've got a
hold.
pick. Really clever from both Michaela and who was the
Doe was back there for a bit.
Doe moving back, but also Tim Davis did exactly as you were just saying, Beck. Rather than looking to shoot, they actually centralised it. So now you've got Shuwei with the disc pretty much in the middle of the field, rather than in that first third where they've really been spending most of their time. So shoot, goes to shoot, instead goes under, but Davis and Michaela both cut to the same space. It's okay, Davis gets it, goes over the top, Tonkin. Tonkin goes and he's got Michaela going deep, but it's tight mark, I think.
Brilliant throw. Bit of a no look there.
Nunu, back to Tonkin. Tonkin goes and shoots one to Shuwei. It's got a lot of float, but that's going to work.
Absolutely.
They just adjusted enough. It was probably 2 metres to the back of the end zone, but it was good enough. Vanguard 3-4. So, I mean, the funny thing is, it feels like it's all Pie Wagon, but they're only, Vanguard are actually only one down on the scoreboard.
Absolutely. I mean, Vanguard are having to work a little bit harder to score, and I think that's why it's feeling very one-sided. But they're still doing it. They're finding the space. They're starting to get that flow and connection that they didn't quite have in the first couple of points.
I think Vanguard's biggest challenge will be the upwinder.
Absolutely.
Obviously. They're getting it done. Probably taking the scenic route on their offense downwind, but they're getting it done. But really, their upwind is going to be where the biggest challenge lies.
Well, let's wait and see. This point will give us a bit more information.
They'll have a crack.
All right, so Sublime and CAF are currently playing each other, and the winner goes into the 9-12 bracket. Loser goes to 13-16. Currently it's 3-3. And Simon Talbot is reporting that there's pretty much no wind in the far fields. I think a bit protected by the trees and the bit of the hill that's there.
Lace, pulls, does well. Vanguard again throwing a junk.
Just not getting there quick enough.
Folks, looking at Wise. Tamale goes the flick, now goes upstairs with the hammer.
Once again.
It's lefty, big lefty.
Oh,
and
there's a call.
Baddix isn't happy, but I think it was just because there was a lot of contact, but both players running to the same spot.
He's having a bit of a think about it.
Lefty with the mean haircut, hoping to intimidate him out of making the call.
Is he going for a bit of a Dustin Martin there, do you think? I don't know.
And nice little quick chat. They actually kind of look quite similar, don't they? But yeah, Chris looking to, he said he wanted to he asked the hairdresser for a quick haircut. So she pulled out the clippers and
he got one.
That was the end state. Faust, I don't know if we can get a close-up on that pretty rude nut on top of Chris Stoddard's shoulders.
Vanguard just really slow to get that zone on, and it just meant that Pie Wagon just had so much space to be able to throw the disc.
Good contest, both players. No one out to purposefully make contact, but sometimes when both players have their eyes only on the disc, it's unavoidable, but it was talked through, resolved well. Pie Wagon, I think they've increased their lead now. I think it's 5-3, correct me if I'm wrong?
Yeah, 5-3 now. As we said before, Pie Wagon just finding it really quick score. Vanguard just really having to work it.
Like you said, they were late coming down, but there were two components to it. One was they were late, and then they got in the wrong position. So let folks shoot through, and then not enough pressure on the thrower. So Tonkin receiving.
Oof.
It's Enting Hawk to Doe. Doe playing well. Looking to Shuwei coming off the top of the stack. Tonkin went, but he was a little bit too deep to Davis. 4 count. Enting Hawk. He's going to have to put it. He puts it to the front of the stack. Good positioning.
Found good space.
Yeah.
Found a player that
and a strip call.
Shuwei just too focused on finding her player. I totally didn't realise where the disc was and ran straight through it.
Okay, uncontested strip.
All right, so Shuwei finds her player pretty quickly.
Nice inside flick, and then Chile goes again.
He said he was going to do it. Oh, Oh, hang on.
Is that Wisey? No.
No.
Sam Shellard.
So trip over each other's feet by the looks of it. Maybe it's a bit slippery underfoot, not sure.
I don't think there's much of a contest. I think they're going to give it to him. Yeah, uncontested foul.
So both of them having a bit of a chat. There we go, disc is in. Easy dump. Oof.
Jess Stoddard. And there's a pick call, but it'll stay with Jess, I think. Jess has the disc, looking flick, engages the dump. That's Hill on the dump, gets forward, and that's a goal.
That is a goal.
Timed it perfectly. Tonkin recognised, saw he tried to come off his player to stop the up the line.
So Soapwood and Crank, just an update on their game, which is a very important game in their last pool of play, is currently sitting at 5-all.
And that is for Crank to stay alive, correct?
Absolutely, they have to win to get in the top 3.
So we'll see Chile once again.
So Lunchbox are currently up on Royal Danks, 4-1. If Lunchbox win, they could steal the 3rd spot off Crank if it goes head-to-head.
Crank are in trouble.
Yeah, so Crank, well, first of all, they've got to win.
Yeah, the second part doesn't really
Yeah,
matter.
because that's out of their control.
Yeah.
So they maybe need to go and send some sideline over to the other game.
So Wagon starting to get a bit comfortable, got a bit of separation now, 6-3. Vanguard now needing to look at 2 upwinds to stay in touch. Pull from TLB now, sitting well, gets big on Baddix, but he's all right, he takes it well. Looking at Lace. Lace back to Baddix. Baddix goes and he sends one. This time he gets it through, but he can't get it past the deep. That's
Right
Sam
idea.
Shellard. Now Tim Lindsay-Brown ordering the stack. Middleton marking him. Tim Lindsay-Brown goes under. Nice flow back to Shellard, who has one free on the open side but can't hit.
A bit out of her reach.
Anna Stoddard
Getting late into day 2.
overthrown. Well, yeah, I think that would be a early on day 1 that it'd still be an overthrow.
Yep.
And again, looking to be aggressive. Middleton to Baddix. Baddix looks over, but that
So
throw.
they're taking some risks, though. They're taking some risks.
Lindsay-Brown with it. Calls the double team, resets the count. Gets it to Tim Hayes. Tim Hayes.
Looking dump.
TLB cops a little bit of contact, but he's okay, and then throws a really nicely weighted goal.
Vanguard just stopped running.
That's perfect. Now we talk about the weighting of that throw. You saw how little TLB put on it, and it just sits up beautifully.
Absolutely. Now, I mean, credit where credit's due. Vanguard are trying to change things up. They're trying hard to get that disc quickly down to their scoring end, but unfortunately just need a little bit more thought, a little bit more balance in their throws, and yeah, right idea.
Yeah, I think it's a good point. I think they're looking at Chile, putting it every time he's got it.
Yeah.
And they're going, okay, cool, that's the game we're going to play.
Yeah.
It's not to say that they need to come entirely short, but I can't remember the last time we saw a pop go into that cup.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So they know, the cup knows, all right, let's play a little bit wider and looser, get the hands out a little bit, because they're either going to go through us or over us. And that's exactly what Baddix tried to do there. And there were probably 2 or 3 defenders that would have, or 2 defenders behind the wall that would have had a bite at that as well. So absolutely risks, but you've also got to mix it up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, very true. All right, we're at 7-3. And we're 35 minutes into the game.
Chile this time, probably the worst he's had, but that's still not too bad. Bad at the brick mark. Tonkin to Enting Hawk. Enting Hawk, beautiful throw through the middle of the cup to Nunu.
Oh, they've got some good run here.
For Tonkin, has a little bit of a step, then throws the over flick. Go on, Michaela.
Oh,
yeah!
yes.
Oh, yes!
What a grab.
Michaela does
Classic.
it. Lefty says, yep, that's a goal, and it's a pretty good one too. Not even my rude haircut can stop it. But that's a perfectly weighted throw.
Oh, it all started with that first throw through the carp.
That was Enting, wasn't it? Enting Hawk.
Yep. Just opened up that entire field.
That's exactly what we're talking about. It wasn't just one long throw. There were a couple of small swings, one through, and then one long. And that forces the defense to maintain focus on the disc. They can't just focus on their player because they know that it could be going long ways, it could be a pop underneath, or it could be, in this case, as you can see,
a perfectly timed throw.
Long grab.
What a grab by Michaela. She does love those layout
she's
grabs,
a weapon.
doesn't she?
She's a straight-up weapon.
I think as a thrower you like it because you know you're going to put it out there and there's a very high chance it's going to be caught, whether it's in the air, on the ground. She likes getting amongst it.
But it was more about the float than it was the distance from Marty. So credit to the thrower, more credit to the receiver. Looked pretty good.
So Pie Wagon looking to score so they can take it to half. We're at 7-4. Vanguard looking for a shift in momentum here. If they can get another one.
Ball goes up. It will be Chris Folkes picking up, throwing to Lachlan Wise, the big tamale, back to Folkes. So this is what they're doing really well. They're quite happy to move the small ball. Back to Lachlan. Lachlan goes to Gina Hill. Gina Hill gets open on the swing, and now they've opened up the side of the field.
Big gap there left by the carp.
Lefty to Locko. Locko Wise to Chris Folkes. So not a lot of opportunity for the Vanguard team to create pressure as now they move it down the right side of the field. Greening, back to Folkes. Folkes looks at Greening, then goes to Stoddard. Stoddard, back to Folkes. Not getting a count past 3, Beck. That's the problem. And
Stoddard. Trying to rush it in.
And that's
easy
to
score.
Locko Wise, and that's half.
It was interesting, the mark there. I was trying to figure out which way they were trying to force, and I couldn't pick it. It just kept changing. I was trying to figure out if it was middle of the field or to the sideline. It was, it just kept chopping and changing quite a bit, which makes it really hard for the rest of the players in the cup to try and stop those gaps. And
as well as knowing where the wings and the deeps.
Yeah, it just makes it really, really hard for Vanguard downfield.
Makes it harder also when, I don't think it was past, as I said, I don't think there was anything past the 3 count. So similar to the point before, if the players can't set in the defense, it's really hard for them to try and exert any pressure. So we're going to take a break for a couple of minutes. We'll be back. We'll get some scores from around the grounds. As we said, it is the last pool game. But for now, in regards to this stream, it's Pie Wagon with a commanding 8-4 lead off over Vanguard. We'll be back shortly for the second half. through to the playoff brackets.
I did see Vanguard practicing some throws without a disc over on the sideline during halftime.
Maybe that's part of the
Right,
problem.
yeah.
Maybe putting a frisbee in the hands.
Yeah, that might
I find that's more useful when learning to throw.
All right, now you went and had a look at the
I
game
did.
across the other side. What's going on there?
So that is Squidoo's, or whatever they're called.
Versus Hills?
Versus Hills. And Hills are about, I think it's now 4 down.
Right.
Definitely 3 down, perhaps 4. So if they are unable to turn that around, that will be the 9 to 12 bracket for them.
Okay, and just an update on the Soypud Crank game. They're still, so they're 7-all. And Sublime Calf, exact same situation. They're at 5-all.
Fantastic. So, Pie Wagon, Locko wise with this, looks long. A couple of Vanguards sit in the lane. Tries to hit Greening, can't do so.
Vanguard with an opportunity here.
Sorry, that was Millicent Crow. Sid with the disc, but again crammed in that sideline. Looks out, but can't get it out. Nice effort, nice bid. But they're going to go now. Stoddard to Gina Hill, but just too much. Lefty putting too much on it, and I think it would have come back for a travel anyway.
Yeah, there's a bit of a discussion going on between the two
lefties
there.
in Stoddard and Middleton. You're allowed to travel if you're a lefty. They should know that better than anyone. Anyway, back to Lace.
Come back to our favourite sideline.
Stick it in here. Anna Rosler, back to Lace, back to Middleton. That was a pushy.
That was an interesting choice of throwing this wind, but anyway.
Middleton's experience showing through when he went to centre that disc. Didn't care what was upfield, when it's more important to middle this to Sarah Lee. Yeah, Holly Reeve now with the disc. Holly points out to Chris Stoddard. Chris Stoddard, nice little break.
Just great eyesight there to see that that cut was on its way across.
Eliza Greening with the goal. And I know we've said it before, Beck, but that's one side of the field to the other. So there's one team that's using the entire width of the field.
Yeah.
There's one team that's not moving out of 1/3. And I'm not saying that's solely the sole reason for the score, but it's certainly contributing towards it.
Now, an update for the Dansk and Lunchbox game. Dansk have made a bit of a comeback, so it's currently Lunchbox 5, Dansk 3.
So a Soypud likely through to the next round?
Yes.
So that would mean they'd need to play tomorrow, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you needed to play tomorrow, you would think that you'd book accommodation for tonight.
One would assume.
It's pretty safe assumption, right?
But you're playing a 3-day tournament, Friday,
Yep.
Saturday, Sunday.
Yep.
You book accommodation.
Even if you go down in the
Friday night,
lower
Saturday
brackets,
night. Oh, absolutely.
you're still playing.
Yeah, you need 2 nights accommodation, Friday, Saturday.
So can you help me understand why Soypud chose not to book accommodation on the Saturday night?
Did they book 2 nights though?
I think they booked Thursday, Friday.
All right.
I think Saturday was the night that's brought them undone.
Oh, that's interesting. Wonder what'll happen tonight.
If anyone in the greater Bendigo area feels like taking in 18 slightly wet, slightly windblown
New South Wales people.
open your doors.
Oh, maybe they'll be out all night. Who knows?
I think they will, one way or another. All right, Enting Hawk looks to Tonkin. It almost hit him in the chin, but he was able to recover. Tonkin to Nunu. Definitely going the long way around. Tonkin might be bleeding from the lip. Hits Doe. Wait for the shake and bake. Where is it?
Oh, it didn't do
instead,
it.
just lets it out, but there's a pick off the
called.
top.
Don't know
Now,
if that affected.
don't think it did, and Marty Tonkin, to his credit, is saying it didn't.
Yeah.
But
Doe just had eyes for him only, wasn't looking anywhere else in the field.
he didn't shake and bake.
That's true.
If he doesn't shake and bake, he's going to turn. Now, Chili's run to the
Alright.
disc.
Vanguard have tried with the zone again.
Oh, he wants to. That's a cracking throw. Everyone's so afraid of the break that they're not just, of the huck, they're not affecting the break, and now Pie Wagon with the flow out the back. Long sweeping throw once again using the width.
Well, they're working hard to get that zone back on, but with that comes gaps.
McCarthy over to McKee. McKee, actually an ex-tennis pro, ranked 300 in Australia. Not that high. Anyway, Hill almost goes, gets high in the count. Back to the tennis player, McKee. McKee trying to get that breakout, can't do it, but there's enough room within the cup. Brittany McCarthy's able to get it and then resets it to McKee. McKee.
Just
rushing it a little
bit
bit.
too quick.
Yeah.
Bit too quick. And Pie Wagon, they didn't really have anything in the centre of the field. They only had a really wide swing out there, so they were struggling to get that centering happening.
All right, Beck, I'll buy you a pint if they centre it.
Oh, come on. Oh, no.
Here we go, Doe.
Could happen.
Doe. Wait for it. Wait for it. Got a high count now.
Line.
Lets it in. Entinghawk, great cut to come back and save the offense. Entinghawk. Again, they're not getting much out of the state. Doe does well.
That stack's very stagnant.
Puts out. Great bid. I don't know if he had
pressure.
anything on it.
I don't think he got to it, but I think that pressure enough.
Yeah,
it's
he did enough. That's Sam Shellard.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, he's just under it, just under the disc there.
They've played it quick. McKee. Over to McCarthy. Going a long way around, back to McKee.
There you go, they've got that
Side,
third person
Shellard.
back now.
Yep. McCarthy, McKee. Like I'm calling the Scotland game. McKee, Hill, McHill. Hill goes outside
stamp
flick.
of the foot every time.
Shellard. Puts it upstairs. Bit of a floater, but it works.
Not in yet, not in yet.
Liam Doherty on the end zone line. Chili goose steps. Doherty lets one out, but it's air underneath it.
Great
Nice
bid. Great bid. It's the interesting ultimate tactic of getting it on the end zone line and everyone running straight towards them.
Yep, that's what you want. Because it's a low pressure situation. You know,
Absolutely.
You're like, hey, everyone, I'm too chilled out. Steam towards me and shout my name.
Absolutely.
That helps. All right, Vanguard lining up in a vertical. Space out the back. Nunu goes. Tonkin's going to send it, so it's Nunu on Chillbot, but it's going to beat them both. Probably not a bad call, to be honest, though, Beck. A punt for position.
Oh, absolutely. Make them work it back up again, but they're doing it with speed.
So Hill calls the contact. Moves it to McCarthy.
They're so good at using the whole field, just opening it up.
Yeah, McKee.
Oh,
Tries inside,
great
but this
work.
time the Vanguard fence are close enough now. They can't get anything through. So they've tightened up a little bit. They've made some adjustments.
Be interesting to see what they do here. They've been presented with an opportunity.
Probably the first red zone offense.
Looks like they've got an isolated player.
Got him.
Oh, well done. Well done. They did well there.
Yeah. Doherty. So that was Davis. Just isolated out, as Beck said. It's the first time we saw them with a real chance. And they just ran the isolation, gave Davis some time. It took him about 3 or 4 seconds, but he just worked him horizontally until Doherty bit too far on the inside on the break. Got too worried about the break. Just let Tim Davis, that is, for an easy goal.
It took him a while to get that isolated play, the patience to just allow that to happen.
There he goes, yeah.
A lot of players don't wait that long. They'll look to their dump early and it just really throws the spanner in the works. So really good trusting of his teammate there. Score is now 5-9. And Vanguard to pull to Wagon. Now just an update on the other fields. We've got Karoma playing Ballarat. Karoma currently in the lead 8-5, took half. And Soypud managed to take half against Crank. So Crank will be looking for a big second half here if they're going to get in that top 3.
But can you give me the update, Beck? Did they manage to find accommodation?
Unfortunately, I have no news on accommodation.
If you want to impress me, tell me that they've got a place to live tonight. Baddocks puts one up. It's going to fall probably 10 short of the brick mark. Closer to halfway. Wagon. So Reeves down low to Folkes to Stoddard. This is Chris Stoddard. And they've actually got one on now, but gives the no-look lefty backhand through to Reeve.
Vanguard working hard to get that zone back in front of the disc.
Greening, Hill, Holly, Greening. Folkes comes in. Good D. Hill goes wide, and that's going to be towed in.
Open. Just that.
Lefty.
The wing there just got sucked at looking at the disc and just...
Why do you think Vanguard, I mean, because that was downwind as well. So upwind I can understand, but why do you think Vanguard are playing the zone downwind?
I honestly have no idea. I mean, I guess maybe it's slowing them down a little bit. Then, you know, it's making them, Wagon aren't scoring as quickly. However, they're finding gaps and they're just working that, they're making that zone work so hard.
we're going to have a quick chat to
Haircut.
our main man, Chris Stoddard, Lefty. How are you, Lefty?
I'm doing well.
What did you want to know?
How's the haircut treating
I just wanted
you?
to know if you guys were the reason my watch hasn't stopped buzzing for the last half an hour.
We may have mentioned that you've
I
got
feel like your haircut's the reason.
We had a confidential chat in the car park, Mozza. I feel you've used it as ammunition against me.
You are on the record the whole time.
Love your work.
Thank you, mate. It's quite intimidating when a bloke with a haircut like that comes and bails you up. He was about to roll me.
I wonder if he's feeling the aerodynamics of it.
He's playing a good game, so
That's
maybe
true.
that's what's happening. All right, Pie Wagon in control. They've pulled. It's about halfway, and it'll be Marty Tongan, who's played a pretty good game. Him and Enting Hawk have done really well, trying to steady the ship
Pick called.
in the backfield.
So the Vanguard were a bit slower to go to the disc this time. Every other time they've kind of rushed to it, tried for a really quick pick up and go. This time just taking it slow, allowing the field to set up.
So Dunmore running out, sending one at a time. Shuey this time. Enting Hawk gets the reset. Shuey in the dump position. Moves forward to Nunu. Nunu, nice, easy. It was easy. It's not easy.
That wind.
You don't put spin on it.
You've got to put spin.
Alright, they're going to set.
Vanguard is setting again.
Upwind, I get it. All right, upwind's not as
Yeah.
bad, but Doe's got to get closer. There's too many gaps in there. That's a little bit better. They close in now, and TLB knows it. So TLB's only option really now is just trying to engage something short, and that's better from
This
Vanguard.
wind is really picked up. This wind is causing havoc.
All right, Shuey. I'm not sure
Holding
that
the
was.
disc up with the wind. How strong is it? Oh, look at that.
That's a
Looks
great
the other
shot.
side of the field. Oh.
Just got under Tonkin a little bit. The idea was right, but just sat up a little bit. Tonkin got nervous. And Chile again goes and puts it. It's one of the best puts of the day. Unfortunately, there are too many Vanguard players back. Nice big gainer from Shuey. And Tonkin goes.
To put it.
Probably just a little bit too much on that. Tonkin knows that we're replaying it over after the fact. And Chile be coming to the disc. Chris Hill, will he play it? No, he'll walk it up.
So Shuey's asking for talk from the sideline, but in this wind, it's so hard to get your voice heard on the field.
Chilbot, really nice shot through the cup, but unfortunately can't find a receiver.
I found a receiver.
I found it. The receiver just dropped it.
Yeah.
Is that what you want me to say? He dropped it. Why'd he drop it?
It was
well,
a
because
lot
it's
of
blowing a gale.
speed. It was a lot of
yeah, it
speed
was
on
coming
that
in
disc.
hot. Enting Hawk goes, looks the flick.
Oh,
Nice bid.
Great bid. And that's Vanguard with another one.
Go Courtney Thompson, a nice strong bid from Pie Wagon, but Michaela Dunmore, if you don't know her, remember the name. If you don't know her, you've been living under a rock, because she's a dead set star. Got a couple of goals this game, 2 of Vanguard's 6. Is that 6 now?
Yep,
or
6
7?
now. So Vanguard aren't letting Pie Wagon just have this.
No.
They are making them work for it. So we're now at 4 women. So it alternates, so 2 points of 4 women, 2 points of 4 men. So we're nearly an hour into the game. Wonder if Vanguard are going to change it up a little bit here or stick to their zone.
Once again, just having another look at that really, really strong bid. Thompson. Kayla, probably one of the quickest players to mark up on.
And recently got the invite to the next round of the training squad, if I'm correct.
Very good, yeah, well.
To be selected for one of the world's teams.
I'm not underwhelmed, I'm just not surprised in the slightest. Because if the selectors didn't put her through to the next round at least, then they'd need their head read. But this is the first brick now, I think, of the day. Maybe the second.
And it looks like Vanguard are going match defense.
There we go. See, that's just got to listen to us. But no one on the
Oh,
mark.
no.
So, folks, he has whatever he wants. Pick Greening.
This looks like it's a straight up force.
Greening gets one out to L Wise. L Wise, man with the rudest haircut and ultimate. Chris Stoddard. Back to Folks. Left-handers combining. Folks, inside flick.
Just
Back to the rude nut.
he's just left on his own.
And Australian lefty.
I mean, maybe it was the haircut. Too
No
intimidating.
one wants to go near him. Give me your money. Give me your phone.
Apologies to anyone that's actually sporting that haircut. I'm
Very
sure
good.
you look great.
The Dusty Martin, for those that follow the AFL, I think there's a bit of Dusty Martin about it.
Oh, absolutely.
Like we said, though, Beck, makes him more aerodynamic. He's having a pretty cracking game.
Yeah, interesting that Vanguard, they did go to the match defence then, but unfortunately,
Well, they
just a
did.
bit
They
of
did.
miscommunication.
6 of them went to play match
It's
defence.
true. The 2 men, unfortunately,
Someone, yeah.
figuring out who they were on.
Yeah. And when you give a pretty experienced handler like Chris Folkes 3 or 4 seconds to shoot at whatever he wants.
Or even just to look at the rest of the field and
Yeah.
assess the options. It's
So I think the idea was right, the execution probably something they want to work on. Is Tim Hayes on the fit? No,
No,
okay,
just
Tim Hayes
giving
off the field, good,
directions.
because he's half wearing his hoodie, so. Chilbot. Another good pull past the brick mark, so you'd give that a pass in this wind. Marty Tonkin, Shoeway back with him.
taking a little while to get to the stack and get into position, Vanguard.
Doe, and now the count's going to get high. Nunu saves, and Tonkin's going, but it's not going to go. Doe sits up on him, it bobbles a little bit, but he's got it.
Shue's working hard here.
He's playing really well. Doe.
There's not
goes
much
up.
coming from downfield.
Shoeway again,
Oh.
really nice shot inside. That's the
Great
second time she's
grab.
done it.
Oh, turning the wrong way. He went to turn left. He looked over his left shoulder, but the disc was coming right. Just slows him down that little bit.
And they're playing it quick. Tonkin's got a good sit here, as well as Davis. Big pack grab. Locko coming from 3 deep. The big tamale had no business. That wasn't Locko, actually.
No, it wasn't at all.
It wasn't the big tamale.
Big tamales off the field.
It was Shellard. To be fair, probably had no business going after that disc. He was coming from a few back. So hopefully no one's too worse off.
Nothing's been called yet. I think they're just having a bit of a chat about what happened and if making sure everyone's all right. Foul, uncontested foul.
Yeah, one of the more straightforward ones, I think, Rubenberg. He goes, I don't think I'm going to need to get involved in this one. I think Shellard knows that he was that was ambitious at best. So Davis with it. Davis looking. Great pickup by Doe.
Pickup. Still not a lot of movement from the stack.
Doe looking for Nunu, doesn't like it, has no dump now. Shoeway comes back for the dump, really wants it.
Oh.
Shoeway gives him an absolute bake, and yeah, she's gone for more. And I think rightly so. The count's at 6 or 7.
That was a very open throw. We just went with a lot of pepper, and unfortunately the receiver just couldn't keep her hands on it.
So, Wagon. To Vanguard's credit, they've moved him into the sideline now. Chilbot wants it. So they've got to stop him from swinging it out. Just
Keep
don't
that
let him
nice and
swing
tight.
it. That's a win. You take that as a win if you're Vanguard. Shellard.
Oh, they just need to move right. Yep, that gap was there.
That's him out. McKee.
That just gives them so many more options as soon as they can get back to the middle of the field.
Well, like you said, Beck, they're now, I don't know if they've changed the force.
Oh! Oh, wow. I think she thought she was playing D.
Puts it into the mush of Doe. And Shoeway said, right, if I can't get open and get it thrown to me, I'm just going to go to the disc. And you know what? I don't blame her. Shoeway, looking break, flick break, doesn't like it. It's Davis.
Oh, she wants to give go.
Throw and go, but did well. That's now to Tonkin. Right on the end zone line. Davis going up the line.
Everyone in the end zone is stationary.
Yeah, which is enabling the team to poach off. Nunu goes. Wide outside throw.
Hey,
Shoeway to
Vanguard,
go.
get another one.
They make up. That's better. Yes, and they've made up. Shoeway's going, yeah, that's it. I'll throw to you. If you're not going to throw to me, fella, I'll throw to you.
It's just, there seems to be, 3 people making movement for Vanguard and the rest are all just hanging back.
But now, like we said, was going to happen. Wagon's starting to have a look and sit off their player just half a step.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's going to make it really hard. That said, Vanguard staying in touch, keeping it respectable, 7-11. Beck, can you remind the people at home what the soft cap rules are and stuff?
Yeah, so
Can
if
you
we get
remind
to...
me? You don't know either, do
No,
you?
I do.
All right.
Because Simon had to speak about it the other game.
Oh, good.
So, the Sirens goes at 80 minutes, so I don't think we're going to get to 80 minutes potentially in this game. But if it does go, then it's just add 1 to the highest score when that goes. and then they're playing a game till that time.
Very good.
We shall see.
Thank you for reminding people at home. All right.
All right.
Baddix's pull hits about the brick mark. Folks, goes to the big Tamale wise.
There you go. They've gone match defense again, Vanguard.
Tamale.
Oh, and it's paid off.
Louisa Batista. Well, it pays off when they've actually match up. So Vanguard, so now there's a double team.
Oh, this wind, though,
They transition.
has really picked up. If that throw did not indicate that at all.
So that'll be coming back in from the cone, I'd be guessing. It's going to come all the way back. That just did not come back in. And it'll be Folks. Marked up by Sid. Left his one out on Baddix. Folksy didn't like it. Goes, hits Gina Hill.
Oh.
Gina Hill back to Folks. Back where they started, but there's one free now, which looks like, is that greening? Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect.
So well done.
Greening off the front of the stack. I don't know if Louise Batista just got caught disc watching a little bit, but that was a very open cut. That brings Pie Wagon to 12 against Vanguard 7. 64-minute mark of the game.
An update on the Soypud crank game. Soypud are now 11-8 up after half.
All right, so that might be the end of Crank.
Yep, unfortunately.
So looking off the top, yeah, if you just watch Louisa, yeah, just got caught napping for 1 second.
It's interesting, those two Vanguard players, the male players, were sitting out there in that lane. But if you're going to poach, you've got to really go for it, right? You can't just sit in that space and wait for a player to come in there. You've got to, you see someone coming into that space that you're there, you've got to go after it.
So might see if we can get a quick moment with one of the Vanguard players in Brett Middleton. Brett, long-time fan. How are you, mate?
I'm good. How are you guys going?
I'm good. So we were talking about your defensive strategy. You seem to be playing junk both sides, upwind and downwind.
Yeah.
You've adjusted now to match. What are you seeing as being more successful?
Well, nothing really, because I keep scoring.
Oh, great look.
No, look, we're just trying to mix it up a little bit. They're just playing really well in this win. They're controlling the disc really well, moving it really well, much better than we are, and we're just trying to just throw whatever we can at them. Hopefully, get a turn where we can. Yeah, we're just trying to keep them guessing, I think, because not much is working for us.
Now, I've got a question on behalf of the Soypud team.
Okay.
Yeah, so they booked their accommodation for Thursday night and Friday night, but Saturday night seemed to escape them. So how many spare beds have you got?
Oh, gosh. Not much, because we're cramming a lot into a 9-bedroom room. Not 9-bedded room.
Right, okay.
There's plenty of floor space,
We'll
a couple of couches.
We'll find another team then.
Yeah, I'm not sure where we're your best option. We're pretty crowded.
All right, best of luck for the rest of the game, mate.
Thank you.
All right, the Soypud accommodation continues.
Great D there. So they Vanguard really managed to trap the Pie Wagon in the corner on the far side of the field whilst we were having that lovely Soypud conversation.
That's a goal.
And that's a goal. There you go. They're now within 3. No, they're not. No, I lied. They're within 4. They've kept the difference
excited.
the same.
Yeah. Don't get that excited.
I was excited. That zone worked really well for them on that far side of the field, and they really made Pie Wagon have to have a think about their
the biggest
throws.
problem, right? Like keeping the width. Dunmore, her 3rd goal from memory, if not 4th. She'd say 4th.
So all of Vanguard going onto the field now to listen to game plan.
Still up and about. That's a sign of a strong team. Still a few down, but giving it a crack.
I expect the sideline to be up and about this point by the looks of it.
Yeah, well, more up and about than Brett. Bloody, oh no, nothing's working. Okay, Brett, thanks for that. Good chat. Best of luck.
Look, he's one to give credit where credit's due.
Yeah, well, do you know what I didn't want to say it to him, but I was like, that first point they did play matched defense. It was his player.
Yeah,
he wasn't marking up on. So
that is true.
Brett, just the good work starts at home, buddy. All right, so Vanguard going to see if they can put in an upwind break.
Oof. Oh,
that's the
Folks
game.
just finds the space so easily.
Reeve.
Oh, Shuey nearly getting fingers to it.
Hill to Greening. Greening back to Reeve. Sits up, but there's enough time. They're just getting anything they want now. Now, finally, Vanguard start to put some pressure on. Folks. Puts it up high.
Oh.
Back to Folks.
Now, normally, if no one else had touched it, that would have been a turnover, but fortunately a teammate had touched that disc, and so he got to maintain possession of that.
Eventually they do turn it though. Lace, Shuey through the cup. That's nice to Baddix, and he wants one, and he has one. Loco Wise gobbles it up.
Not my house.
The big tamale. Hill, Folks, Holly Reeve, Greening. They could keep it going. Stoddard can go upstairs. Does it, but Sweet as, Sweet Bid.
Oh, that's going to work.
Still got it.
That's a strategy.
There we go. We just needed to give him the G up. Nice work from Sweet as.
All right, disc is in, but Vanguard don't really look like they're ready.
No. Shuey. Has Baddix. Baddix almost wears it.
This sideline is not good for him.
What do you want to be? Baddix knows what he wants to do, gets it out. It's a bit floaty, but it'll work.
Keep using that whole field.
Lace, back to Baddix. Baddix, inside shot, hard shot. But that's perfect. And that's, like you're saying, that's what needs to be done. It was coming in hot. Shuey did get 2 hands on it. But at least they're showing endeavour to try and use the width, which is what they weren't doing in the first half. That said, it'll be Folks.
Oh, you can hear the wind on the mics. This is
absolutely howling. We almost lost our sound. Watch out, we almost lost the mixing board. All right. Middleton on Folks. Folks looks to step around, open throw, easy as you like.
Just beaten to the side.
Most aerodynamic man in ultimate, catches another one.
Yep, just faster than his opposition.
Yep.
Oh, close up with the haircut.
And Baddix just beaten, just a step 2, slow off the back of the stack.
Looks like they've called a timeout. Wagon called a timeout. May as well use it. They've got it. They haven't called any yet, have they?
So Baddix just really went straight up on him. I think really afraid of the break side. I don't think it's a bad decision because you do have it's Chris Folks who's got a really wide, low step around break, inside backhand break.
And this wind is not going to deter him at all from throwing that.
So Baddix just a step 2 straight. Open up enough space in the open side. So a timeout here. 13 something. 13-7 I think we're looking at.
Yeah. Wagon just looking to bring it home now. Taking the time out just to reset themselves. The wind has picked up a little bit. I don't think they need to change anything. They've just got to get these last couple of points in.
For Wagon, it's just finish the way you started.
Yeah.
Be able to hold your head high throughout all the pool play. Even test yourself in the conditions, because I don't know if tomorrow's going to be any better. Four men.
All right. All of Vanguard again, walking up to the line. And it looks like, Vanguard is struggling to figure out who's on the line. Oh, there we go. And then you hear the whistles in the background. That's just the game advisors letting the team know that they need to speed up their time talking on the line.
All right, Chilbot again had a good day pulling. Always has a good day pulling.
Oh, it's probably one of his shorter ones today.
Generally been hitting the brick mark or beyond. Tonkin. Once again, a junk setup from Wagon. Tonkin goes upstairs, high release backy, but it works. It's a really nice, and Madeline Smith with the grab.
She had a player deep of her, but reluctant to throw it.
So
went for the dump.
Drops it. Hill looks back to TLB. Lindsay Brown.
Vanguard looking to try and find their players. Bit of miscommunication with the males, but they've found each other now.
So McCarthy offloads it to Ewan. Ewan back to Tim Lindsay Brown. It's Michael.
Vanguard really working to try and stop the unders here.
Chilbot just gets one inside, and then he goes and he shoots one, and kind of reminds me of the one he had in the first half. At least that one was a huck. Marty Tonkin. He's looking
in this wind that's really hard to do that quick throw.
Yeah.
You've really just got to take your time.
And the wheel's starting to come off of Vanguard now. That scuba going nowhere in particular. Holly Reeve. They've got it up near the brick mark now. TLB really determined, cut up the line, does not get it. Now they've got a bit of a problem. Goes out wide, uses the width.
Marty tries.
Does really well. That's Shallard. Back to Tim Lindsay Brown. Tim tells people he wants a stack. He's got Holly Reeve. He sends Holly. She goes up the line, a little bit of contact. But gets it. Gets past. Looks inside. Instead hits Shallard. Shallard with a look. Vanguard have set their defense reasonably well. Holly Reeve has the big around. Now they're out. TLB. Sits it up.
Now there's Doe's on the ground. Is that Doe there? That's, yeah, injured. Unfortunately, injury call there. So don't quite know what happened, but he stopped. We'll have a look. So Doe fell onto the ground just before that D, and he just hasn't gotten up yet. So I wonder if it's a cramp or something like that. End of day 2. Starting to get to the end.
4 days on game 1? 4 days
yeah,
on game 1. 4 games on day 1.
Yep.
You idiot.
Pretty sure.
So that doesn't make this game 7. So yeah, be tender.
So yeah, looks like he might have just gotten a cramp or something like that. And so Brett Middleton coming on. So if there's an injury, someone gets to come on and take his place. And then also Wagon, if they want, they can change a player over. But it looks like they're staying with all of the people who are on there.
So Hill's giving it one last tilt. It is 7-9 to Squiddos. So they've bridged the gap a little bit, but they are playing on the same kind of orientation field as us, so it would mean they'd need to punch in an upwinder if there any chance. Sweetas is gone. Davis sends it. Not even 2006 Sweetas could have reeled that one in with the getaway sticks. I doubt 2019 Sweetas will have much any more luck.
So it looks like Vanguard are setting a zone down here. If they keep it nice and tight, they'll be able to really stop the play. Really need to watch that swing across the field far away from the commentary side.
TLB.
They're doing well.
Shallard. Back to TLB, but that's where they get sucked in. Nunu just got sucked in there. Now they're going to have to try and same again.
Massive gap.
So now they're up on the high side. That's where you want to be.
So change the force, which is smart.
Daisy Ewan gets it off.
Hopefully the cup recognises there's been that change in force and adjusts.
Lindsay Brown. Drops the put. It was low. It was released low. It stayed low. Sarah Lee with the disc.
Just looking back at dump now.
Tonkin. Hill did really well for a couple of counts. Tonkin gets free. It's
Brett wanted that from the start. Did you see the first cut he made?
No.
The chest was out, the arms were open. Why didn't you hit me straight away? But he went back, kept cutting, kept churning, eventually got it.
Maybe he didn't like the 2006 Sweet As comment.
Maybe.
Good composure though from both Lee and Tonkin. Yeah, you're right, he'd made that first cut.
Yeah, he's going, why didn't you hit me?
But good work from Tonkin to maintain a little bit. He was probably a little bit close to the dump in the first instance, but resisted the urge to get even closer, even after his first cut wasn't on it. So he kept some width. He got Chili sucked in, and Lee with some really good patience. And then from there, he was open, had power position to break to Sweet As for the goal.
So Vanguard have called this line, called all the players who are on this line. So obviously looking for another score, just keep creeping up the scoreboard.
Baddocks with the pull. T kicking in now. That one not even making the halfway line.
This wind.
They've gone back to the match. by the looks of things. Sorry, the junk. Big Tamale looks to go upstairs, doesn't. Instead hits Folkes. Folkes to Reeves. Reeves played really well this game. Back to Folkes. And again, not many high counts getting Wise.
Very,
Folkes,
very
Wise.
ugly wind at the moment.
Greening. Lots of players around the disc.
Yeah, very tight carp.
Middleton comes in from the wing, which is really good, really clever. Greening. Folkes gets that first one off. It's so critical. And now they've got the win.
Wide open.
And that's the goal.
Wide
and
open.
that is the game in a nutshell. Wagon saw that there was no way forwards, so they went back and around, and it was bang, bang, bang. 3 uncontested throws.
Nice and easy.
And Wagon now game point. It'll either be 6 in a row for Vanguard or just 1 for Wagon.
All right. So looking over at the Squiddos game, it's now 9-11, or potentially the wind has just flipped that.
I don't even know where you're looking. Yeah, okay, we'll get an update.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out what's going on with the
I
score
can't
there.
even see the scoreboard, let alone
That's
the numbers
not
on
good.
it.
No wonder you think the haircut's all right.
So as we see again, open throw, open goal. Holly Reeve, as we said, playing quite well.
All right, Chile. Potentially the final pull.
Did you hear that? Chile giving himself a little,
Ooh.
come on, and gets it, and he's rolled it in the back corner.
Now we've just heard the siren go. So,
Tonkin.
regardless, it's going to be game 15.
Tonkin goes and sends it. Outside in, right down Chile's throat, and he misread it. Now he's going to have to do some work, and he's running to it, so he wants his team to come down with him. There's no one putting a count on, so he's okay.
2 options, either side of the field, and all of Vanguard defending the middle where there was no players. All right, Vanguard have put the zone on.
Key. Send Greening in.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was Stoddard, just Stoddard.
Just don't think she was expecting that disc to come at such a close proximity.
I think she was almost running a dummy cut just to open up a bit of space.
Oh, now Wagon are putting it on a zone. Second time they've done it this game.
Tonkin has dough if he wants, but now and Tonkin's pretty filthy on himself. He knows that that's just a fatigue throw. Doe was stationary, but was right next to the sideline, so it had to hit him. Unfortunately, it went to his right, which meant he was trying to tow it.
Now, in this wind, theoretically, they should be able to get the D here with a sideline zone.
Out of this time, Stoddard knew she was going to get it and collects it, and then to
Chile,
Hill.
great grab.
And again, they're out.
Open players. Oh, bounced off the chest.
Millicent
Which
Crow
gives Vanguard another chance.
hit TLB, but maybe he wasn't expecting it this time. Both teams persisting with the junk.
Oh.
They got to hit Nunu right on the white side. It's going to be pinpoint.
Pinpoint? I don't know.
It's got to be pinpoint.
Right.
I don't think it was. Yeah.
Interesting choice of throw.
And it'll be Hill. Nunu marking. Great throw by Hill to Lindsay
straight in the
Brown.
middle.
Tonkin intercepts.
Good option.
Kayla.
Get that movement. Keep working down the field.
Tonkin, and then Tonkin goes the cross
Again.
field.
Oh, great grab.
I don't know how that happened.
Way to get her body in
That's
front
amazing.
and get that. Well done. And she just read that was going to drop a little bit short, and just at the right moment managed to put her body in front.
Rosa with the goal. Look, we give you got to give Marty credit for using the width. Right?
I thought he'd done another overshoot. However, it just dropped at that last second.
Credit to Enting Hawk as well, who was absolutely there for the crumbs. She knew that if that dropped, she was front and centre. So they get it to double digits, 14-10. We will endeavour to get everyone an update from the other game. They're in a timeout at the moment, so certainly for now it suggests it's game on. We may even see, pending on time, if we can catch the last couple of minutes of that game if it's still going. But for now, it's game point to Wagon. One of their stronger lines on.
They're going downwind. You've got to think that they're going to get this score.
Greening, Reeves, Stoddard, ×2. And now they've got to take it from that. So after having a game where no one had taken it from the top corner, we've had 2 in a row.
Now just an update, Squiddos are up 11-9.
Still 11-9. All right, so it was touched, so it's got to be taken from inside the back of the end zone. But again, if Wagon can use what they've done all game, just use the width, they do. Now Loco Wise with it, the big Tamale, hits Holly Reeves, takes half a step.
Oh, I was going to say, they're just so good at running it through, but...
Isaac Greening just too far in front. Baddix looks at that nice around, low backhand. Nice from Baddix to Shuwei, but Shuwei now overshoots. Sean Lace, can't do much about it.
You can see the frustration on Vanguard's faces. They're just
tired. But you know what they do have? They have a place to stay
tonight. They've got a place to stay.
You know who don't have that? Soypud. So Folksy goes to Loco Wise. Loco Wise to Greening. Greening has Folksy there, but now they've changed the force, which again lets out the width, and now it's Loco Wise off Stoddard. Loco has Stoddard back, has 2 or 3 dump options, and he still looks.
He went for the over the top.
Oh, and there's been a call, which I'm.
Interesting.
We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. We'll have a look here.
Oh, it wasn't. Okay, so not on the throw, on the catch.
It was on the catch, yeah. So hands were out.
So they're just discussing it now. So they've obviously asked for perspective from other people on the field. They haven't needed to get the game advisors involved, so it's an uncontested foul at the end.
All right, Eliza Greening with the disc to win the game. Everyone false start, but they all did it together, so it's play on. Greening, count on now. Back to Chris Stoddard, who goes for the throw for the win. And there he is. Sweet as wanted to monster Holly. He had half a crack. Did the right thing, avoided the contact, and that is the game.
Well, if you looked at the games leading up to this, you would have thought that it would have been a bit more one-sided than it actually was.
I think Vanguard did quite well.
And I think Vanguard really kept in it for a lot of the game, and they did very well. Now, over on our the other game, we've got Squiddos.
Yeah, and we are going to take a look.
And it's a game to 12 with the scores 11-10.
And we're going to stay with this and see if we can call it from afar. As we just watch Holly Reeve catch, I think that was her 3rd or 4th goal.
Yeah,
she's a stellar game.
Absolutely. I thought she'd miss that. I thought she'd misjudged and mistimed that first catch, but gone for that second attempt and she's gotten it.
Lefty, look at that. That's the goal.
But a great bid on defense as well.
It was a great view of Lefty's haircut, not of the actual goal. It was just a great view of her.
Maybe you should go get one
the
tonight.
Back of a man's reasonably bulgy head. So we'll move away from the spirit circle of this now and shortly pick up. Or we'll at least get an update.
So just an update on what is happening on the other field. So Hills need to win to finish 3rd, and then they play Karoma. If they lose, then Credo takes 3rd. So if Hills win, then Hills go to 2nd, Squiddos go to 3rd. All right, so whoever finishes... Yeah, they're wanting to finish 3rd is ideal.
I was going to say, just explain that to me like I'm a
did
Labrador.
That, yeah.
Or tell me when the consecutive sack races are. All right, so we do have some footage now. We're going to stay with this. It's a game to 12. Is it 10-11, is that right?
So it's currently at 11-10, game to 12.
2 Squiddos.
Yep, and Hills need to win so that they can finish 3rd.
So you can see G, Prentice, Seb Barr wearing a shirt that's probably 4 sizes too small for him. Has been the off-season for Seb. which means he's been working on he's been in the gym,
Yeah,
bulking
that's
up.
true,
That's
yeah.
what I mean.
Yeah,
I'm
right,
not
that's
calling
what
him.
it
I'm
is,
not calling
yeah.
him fat. Glass houses back when I've, an even worse nick. So it will be Hills pulling. Imagine it'd be Hills pulling.
Yeah, they've got the disc. That's them.
Oh yeah, ladder with the disc.
Yep. So interesting. Hills has been around for a very long time.
Yeah.
And yeah, they last year they did quite well, and as a result, it seems like some interesting people have jumped ship to go and play with Hills.
I love this stuff. I get carried away thinking about all the drama that would have happened. And, Frisky are done, and yeah. All right, so Ladder Martos with the pull. Outside in, it's a very decent pull. Apologies if we don't get the names right. We don't have the sheets, and it is a long way away. But the man with the shirt that's too small is Seb Barr. He goes to Rob Andrew. Looks like that's Prentice. Has
With
Egan
G,
Griffiths
yeah.
back to Prentice. Sebo goes up the line, hits Rob, and Sebo's off. He's going. Rob, he wants nothing to do with it. Now Cupcake. Tullett looks around to the outside. Didn't want McGuckin. Prentice goes up, gets it inside. Wants Tullett, doesn't get it. Goes, instead advances that, then gets it back on the dish. Goes to the same once again. They're all getting a little bit cramped. Guckin goes up the line, doesn't like it. Cupcake goes, doesn't like it. G goes, it's inside. Just gets, G with the longer arms gets there. This is the game. Back to Prim. Prentice to Sebo. Shrunk in the dryer, that shirt. Likes it. Goes, shoots the flick. That's the game.
Oh,
the Guckin.
wow. Oh,
That's
there's
it.
a call? No, that's the game. I just saw hands on head from Prentice there.
No,
That's
I think
game.
everyone's just a bit baked.
Yeah.
no one can do high fives. So, Squiddos get it. 12-10 over Hills. Ends Hills' reasonably impressive campaign to this point, but Hills are now out. That's correct.
Yeah, it means that Credo's now going through in the third spot for their pool.
So once again, New Zealand, the Woofdoof might not think they exist on the ultimate scene, but Credo out to make a statement and say that they absolutely do. If that doesn't make sense, check the Woofdoof page. But anyway, that's it from us today. So just recapping, we've had a pretty dominant performance from Pie Wagon in the end, but Vanguard certainly have things to take away to be proud of, and Squiddos have ended Hills' 2019 mixed ultimate campaign, beating them 11-9. We will be back tomorrow, Beck.
Absolutely.
I don't know what we'll do. I mean,
Yeah, more commentating.
More
We
commentating.
Don't
more
know who,
games.
don't know where. We'll see. We'll hopefully. I know we'll see you at 5 o'clock. So both there are going to be 2 games that are going to be filmed at the same time. So there'll be one through this website and I don't know through the other one. So one through Ulti TV. So anyway, we'll bring you more action tonight. So that is the
Pre-semis, I believe they are.
Pre-semis.
At
So
5 o'clock, tune in then on 2 streams. All right,
Yep.
thanks everyone.